Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the Everton News Daily. Friday the 14th of September. Couple of days now till we play West Ham at home, and the injury news looks a little bit better. Before we come on to that though, there are two investigations happening at the moment about Everton and illegal approaches. First of all, the Everton Academy 2016 have been a complaint has been put in about a young Cardiff player, and Everton illegally tapping up the player. Now the player is now at Manchester United, but a full investigation is happening. Also, Everton have launched their own internal investigation to what happened. If Everton are found guilty, they will be banned from signing academy players. We've seen the likes of Liverpool being done for this before, and I suppose it's a very fine line they tread when they're trying to bring players from other clubs in who are of academy age. I'm sure there's all kinds of things that they have to tread around to try and get these players in, because obviously they are young players, and it's not a case of just coming up with a financial agreement. They've got to speak to the parents and the player, but obviously it's how they do that. So that is one investigation going on at the moment. The other investigation is an independent inquiry into whether illegal approach was made by Everton to Marco Silva while he was still the Watford manager. The Premier League wanted the two clubs to resolve the matter. A lot of people thought they had resolved it when we bought Richarlison for 40 million, but no, it hasn't been resolved, and it's going to go to an independent inquiry who will look into this. This is apparently going to take some time. It could take till the back end of the season before this is resolved. There's been talk of a points deduction if we are found guilty. Now, Chelsea were found guilty of doing this a few years back, but they got a suspended 3 points deduction. So obviously warned about their conduct, the fine, and if they ever do it again, those 3 points will come into force. I'd imagine it would be similar if Everton were found guilty of this. A large fine, a large slap on the wrist. Marco Silva was asked about it in his press conference today, and just basically said, whatever, it's nothing to do with me, and just laughed it off and just got on talking about the build-up to the West Ham United game. So it doesn't seem to be playing on his mind too much, and I'm sure Everton will want this inquiry to be dealt with quickly so we can just draw a line under the matter, pay whatever fine we need to pay, and get on with it. Of course, Watford sacked Marco Silva. Now they will say that is because he had his head turned, and results suffered because he really wanted to be at Everton. So yeah, we'll leave that there. As I said, I imagine it will come down to being a slap on the wrist and a large fine if we are found guilty. We'll wait and see on that. As I mentioned there, Marco Silva has done his press conference today. Obviously, lots to talk about in terms of who is available to play. Now, Yerry Mina trained today. We've seen the pictures. He's back in full training, which is absolutely fantastic. What condition he's in, not sure. Don't think he's ready to play yet against West Ham United. It might take a couple of weeks of intense training to get him up to speed, but he is back in training. That is the main thing. He is over the injury which has kept him out and has stalled his Everton career up to this point. So he's available. That's the main thing. Also back in training, James McCarthy, which is absolutely fantastic. Now again, Marco Silva was at pains to point out that this will take a little bit longer. There's a lot of things to factor in. The fact that he's been out all year. There's the fact that he needs to get confidence, the psychological side of breaking your leg and all those issues. He's going to have to deal with all them. So he's someone who's not going to be rushed back into playing any time yet, and is going to be given all the time he needs to get himself right. I'm sure he'll be in the next Ireland squad. Of course you will. But that's really good news to have him back, because he'd be, you know what? I know we've said this a few times, but if we could get him back playing, dealing with him right, that would be a major step forward. I don't think there's a panic to have him back in the team every single week as it is. So, but if we could get him back and get him playing and not overuse him, I think he could be he could be a good player for the squad, so that's good news. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who went off for the under-21s, apparently he's okay, and he'd be fine to play. Idrissa Gana-Gueye and Theo Walcott, they've both trained as well. Michael Silva said that they'll wait and see till tomorrow what their reactions are after training, but hopefully if there's no reaction, they'll both be available for Sunday, so that's positive news as well. Seamus Coleman, he said it's going to be, a week to 2 weeks before he is available to play. So he definitely misses this game, but it's going to be a couple of weeks. So again, it mightn't be as bad as we all first feared, especially with Martin O'Neill saying he could miss the next round of international games. But again, we'll wait and see. He said they'll have a report in the next couple of days on that. So again, that's one that hasn't been fully dealt with yet, and we'll have to wait and see on that one. Andre Gomez, he said he's definitely out, and it sounds like he will be out for the next couple of weeks. Again, I don't know if he'll be rushed. It'll be a case of just getting over the injury and then starting to train on that. Michael Keane, he said, well, we've seen the pictures, he's training and he's got like a headpiece on, so he's not headering the ball or doing full training. He's doing all the other bits of training. I think that's fine, but he's not getting involved in anything that could damage that head injury that obviously he suffered against Bournemouth. He said it might be Monday or Tuesday he might be able to fully get back, which is again fantastic. I don't think he mentioned Phil Jagielka, but I think Phil Jagielka is still out. Bernard, he said he's okay. He's been training last week and he's trained this week, so he could come into contention for the weekend. So yeah, I think that's everybody. He obviously mentioned Richarlison and how well how great it was that he'd gone away and done so well for Brazil. Obviously he's not available. This is his last game of his suspension, but yeah, the injury situation doesn't seem as bad as it did yesterday. A lot of players are in contention. Okay, they might be absolutely 100%, but it seems like a lot of players are back and in contention for the game on Sunday, which is fantastic news. And hopefully by the time we get to the Arsenal game, or the game after that, we might have a fully fit squad available. But that's football doesn't allow for such things. But the players who have been out hopefully will be in contention, fully fit and rearing to go. So that's about it for today from the Everton News Daily. It's hopefully positive ahead of the game to West Ham. Fans will go the game in a lot more positive mood now that there are looking like there will be players available for the game, so that's great. There you have it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.